Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Fasttrack to sales coordinator call. I wish I could press pause and start again. So I'm stepping in for Lauren. Obviously, this is our Team YOLO Fasttrack call. I'm so excited to do this for you. Lauren's at Life Mastery this week, so you have me coming live from London. So tonight's call is very exciting. So you know that new NMD we just had in Team YOLO? Her name's Amanda Newright, if you didn't know. Amanda Newright is this lady's NMD, so we already know that she's had fantastic mentorship as she's gone through her journey. And right now we have Hilary Granat, I think that's your surname, right? And she is an SSC in the business, so perfect for teaching us how to get to SC. And she's also a physical therapist, and she currently lives and works in Washington, DC in America. She opened her own PT practice in 2006, so she really understands how it is to have a traditional business in the health industry too. And she specializes in orthopedics, sports medicine, manual therapy, and rehab-based Pilates. She integrates fitness and rehab all under one roof, and she's always been super passionate about health and wellness. Even before she was a PT, oh, I love it. Someone's like, wow, I love it. Even before she was a PT, she was a personal trainer and Pilates instructor. So she's always been into this field. And she earned a Master's of Science degree in exercise physiology and then a clinical doctorate degree in physical therapy. And in March of this year, so a couple of months ago, she just graduated, congratulations, from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and is now an integrative health nutrition coach. Oh my God, what a resume. She believes that it's important to assess and treat the whole person, not just their symptoms or injury. Totally agree. And the thing that she is most proud of is that she's also a super boss babe mom and to twin-year-old boys and a stepson to a 21-year-old. So she has 3 boys in the house, which is crazy. He's a college student though, so hopefully you get a bit of a break. And she's been part of the Juice Plus family for 3.5 years. So we are so excited to hear your top tips on how a health professional works this business and how you yourself got to SSC. So I am going to let you take it away. Any questions, you're more than welcome, everybody, to write them in the box and we'll get to those questions after. Thanks, Hilary.
All right. Thank you, Tasha, for the introduction. First, I just want to thank everyone for their time. I know how busy everyone's schedules and lives are, so getting on this call is great for you, and I'm excited to be here to hopefully teach you something. So I'm going to start off with my product story. I was originally introduced to the product about 3.5 years ago, and my friend Amanda, we worked together at Georgetown University Hospital as physical therapists together 18 years ago. And we were really good friends then. But then she moved out of DC, moved to Colorado, to the country Georgia, and then eventually Uganda. And we always kept in touch. And so one day I got an email from her stating this, and she went on and she was like a life coach and a yoga instructor. And so I got this email saying that she found this great company and this great product called Juice Plus. And she was really excited about it. And this was going to be her new thing. And so first I thought she was a little crazy. I'm like, what is Amanda doing now? And I also thought that the email could be spam. So I didn't respond to Amanda and I didn't respond to her email. But then I kept watching her on Facebook and saw that she was consistent. And my boys were constantly getting sick. So they were about 3.5 years old at the time. Every runny nose turned into an ear infection. Every ear infection, they ended up on antibiotics, and they were literally on antibiotics probably every 2 to 3 months. They were constantly sick. So my ears kind of perked up listening to Amanda, being like, okay, maybe I should listen to this. And so I talked to Amanda about it, and the only reason I even said yes to the product was because of my kids. So I figured, fruits and vegetables, getting it into all of our systems is only going to be a good thing. That made sense to me. So I signed up for the business and the product on the same day, but knowing that I was not going to do the business. The way I am, I have to research everything and make sure I believe in it before I share it with anybody else. I really just signed up for the business originally just to get the discount on the product. So we started taking the product, and within those 4 to 6 months that I was trying out the product, my kids never got sick. Anytime I saw a runny nose, Amanda told me to double up on the chewables for them, which we did. And so since my kids have been on the product, which has been over 3 years now, 3.5 years, they have not been on antibiotics at all. So they have been totally healthy. So we will always be on the product because of them. And then my husband and I have also seen great benefits as well. the biggest benefit that I've seen for me is that my cholesterol dropped about 40 points. I've always had genetically high cholesterol, and nothing I do has been able to drop it. And being on the Juice Plus capsules really decreased it, which has been amazing. And then you've heard the other stories: better skin, better hair, more energy, and all of that. I feel I benefited as well from those benefits. Then one other great product story: my son Gavin was born with really bad eczema, mostly on his legs, but some like on his belly and his arms. And after about 6 months of being on the product, I kept hearing about the berry blend, how great it is for people with skin issues and especially eczema. So even though the berry blend is not part of the Children's Health Study, I purchased it for both my kids and put them on the berry blend. I added it to the fruits and veggies. And within probably 6 months or so, all those like dry, scaly, patchy, itchy, painful eczema spots on his legs completely gone. And, in the winter, he will still get some like dry skin, but nothing that he had before. It's completely gone. I couldn't even put lotion on his legs before without him crying because it hurt so bad. So obviously we fell in love with the products for all of those reasons. And because I loved the products and we saw such benefits, I decided that I would start sharing the products with first family members. I got my dad on it and my sister-in-law, and just started sharing it first with family. And then I decided to start sharing it with friends as well. But when I started doing the business, you might have heard of this like too cool syndrome. I definitely had that. I thought I was way too cool to be part of a network marketing company and for this type of business. And I was actually embarrassed to even say I was part of a network marketing company. So when I started sharing the product, I would just be like, oh, this is a great company. We started taking it. I'm a distributor. But I definitely had a lot of issues with the type of company that it was until I got over that and learned more about that. But the reason I got over it was because for me, I saw the big picture of making passive income. And as a physical therapist, I'm always trading time for money. So if I don't see a patient, or if I want to go on vacation, or if I want to take some time off to go see, my kids at school or a presentation they're doing, I don't get paid. And if I don't get paid, I still have the expenses and the overhead of a traditional physical therapy business that I have. So my big picture and my big why has always been to make passive income and not trade hours for dollars, as I do as a physical therapist. People do it as a personal trainer, massage therapist, doctor. We're always doing that trade. And so even though I feel like I was one of the lucky ones, I love my job. I love being a physical therapist. I'm already following my dreams of sharing and passion of sharing like health and wellness and rehab with others and helping them to have a better life. I still can do that now on a much bigger scale with the Juice Plus company. So, the great thing about the Juice Plus company is it's only $50 to have your own business, to have this virtual franchise. And you don't have any of the overhead or the expenses or the stress of running a traditional business. And so now, it's a way for me to supplement my income and to make it passively. So I was brought up thinking that you needed to work really hard and put in long hours to be successful. Both my parents worked when I was growing up. And my dad has always been super proud of me because I started my own PT practice. I work really hard. I have too many degrees. And, but what I've learned from him is that he works so hard. He's 77 years old right now. He still works full-time hours, mostly because he doesn't know anything different and because they don't have enough retirement savings to retire. And I know that I don't want to end up like that. I'm hoping that I can make enough money with Juice Plus that I can eventually help them out as well. So even though my dad's been really proud of me, how much I've done, the biggest lesson is that I'm trying to find a way to work smarter, not harder. And I want it to be very different from the way I was raised. And the great thing about the Juice Plus business is that's what it teaches us. It's such a great business model. And it's just been great for me as far as fitting it into my physical therapy business and my physical therapy life. You can do this business in stolen moments. When I first started off, I was just doing it a little bit here and there between patients. when a patient canceled, I could quickly send out a text message or follow up with the client who was taking a product. I would listen to calls at night after my kids were in bed. I really like do this business as I normally would live. So I just talked to patients who are lying on my treatment table about their nutrition and what are they doing? Are they getting enough fruits and vegetables? Because we all know a healthy diet and that rainbow of fruits and vegetables helps us heal and decreases systemic inflammation. So I really just like integrated every day into my life and into my work life. So before I had this business, I used to worry about how will I continue to make money once I'm too old to be a physical therapist. Physical therapy, personal training, massage therapy, we all have like limited time. I don't see too many physical therapists who are like 65 years old. It's a really strenuous job. And I never, ever had a plan B. I just was like hopeful that I would make enough money and I could save some for my kids' college. And I didn't really have a really good plan B so I could actually enjoy life after I retired. And what I've been learning is that the most successful people out there and the people I know have multiple sources of income. And I'm trying to create that now with Juice Plus. So all of us who are constantly trading, dollars for hours and don't have any backup plan, Juice Plus is such an amazing backup plan. Originally I just said it was my plan B, but eventually it's going to become my plan A. I have 9 years left on my lease in my PT practice. And hopefully my plan is that my Juice Plus income is going to surpass my physical therapy income. And so that's my plan. And I'm not, some of the people that you've heard on here, they fast track to NMD in a year or two. And that is amazing. But it's lucky for me, I love what I do and I'm not ready to like give my PT practice up and I don't have to. But in the process of doing Juice Plus and physical therapy at the same time, I'm building this amazing safety net that I can fall back on over time. So that's my product story and that's my business story. And then I have some like recipes for success that kind of got me to where I am right now, which is SSC. So the number one thing that I think is important is consistency. You've heard this over and over again. Consistency, we get paid well for being consistent in this business, to just keep showing up. And then we all have, you've heard about DMOs and what we should be doing or have your own DMO. And so for my DMO, there's a couple of things that I'm consistent with every single day. Number one is I take the product. I'm a product of the product. And I think like the best way to be successful in this business is to really believe in all the products or, because if you believe in it, it's going to come across that you're passionate about whatever you're doing. So every morning I wake up, I take my capsules. I go downstairs, I make a shake for myself and my boys. Every morning, that's our breakfast. My boys actually have another breakfast about a half hour later, but we all start off with the shakes every morning. We have a tower garden. I don't think there's tower gardens in UK yet. But we have a tower garden, aeroponic gardening system. My kids literally walk over and be like, Mom, can I have a piece of kale or can I have a piece of red chard? And they go over, and this is since the age of 4.5. They're like eating greens, like the best thing you can get right off of a tower garden in our living room. So be a product of the product, and then you're just going to be much more passionate about it. So besides taking the product every day, I try to share my product story every day. So whether that's on the weekends when I'm on the playground with moms, if I see a kid with, a runny nose or a mom's complaining that, their kid had a fever and missed school, I'm always like, oh, I'm so lucky. My kids never get sick anymore. And then I just leave it like at that. And they're like, oh, how come? And then, I try not to like vomit Juice Plus over on people, but I really like, put it out there and just bring it into conversation. And then, so I always share the product with my patients as well. So at first I felt weird sharing it with my patients. I felt like I was trying to sell something on the side and it just didn't sit right with me. But now that I've been in this business for about 3.5 years, it's become much more comfortable for me. So as I said, like with my patients lying on a table or if I'm treating their neck or their back, I just integrate it into our conversation. And it's never like the first or second appointment with them. It's once I start to get to know them and I start talking to them about what they're doing outside of physical therapy. You know, are they going for walks? Are they drinking enough water? Are they getting enough fruits and vegetables? So I've just found a way to just integrate it into their treatment sessions. And then I tell them, like, everybody should be, well, based on blood work, should be taking vitamin D. Most people are lacking vitamin D. We should all be taking omegas. Are you taking an omega? Most people are not. And then I'm like, oh, we have this great vegan one that I love. So I just really like integrate it into my daily life with my patients. So I think that's really helped me. Originally, I thought it was a detriment to be a physical therapist because I felt like I couldn't be talking to my patients about it, where I felt like the people who were not a healthcare provider maybe had it easier. And I just had to kind of change my mindset on that and just be okay with it and make it something that it's a benefit, not a detriment. So other DMOs of mine, gratitude, affirmations, and meditation. So about a year ago, I started meditating, transcendental meditation, TM, which I think has really helped me. I sometimes fall off the wagon with it, but I get wrong because I definitely feel a difference and see a difference and just calmer. And then as far as gratitude and affirmations, you know, our thoughts create our reality. Whatever you believe, you're right. Start feeling like all those negative thoughts come in, which we all do. And I constantly am working on that. You just have to like recognize that and change your thought process. So, you know, I've been trying to step outside my comfort zone. I got to SSC by doing a lot of the things I was just saying, but I feel like to get to that next level, I would have to step in. I'm super successful with multiple teams of so if you haven't already written your 3 for either, I usually say for a year, at least between now and next class, to write them down. So I write a Post-it and I put it in my bathroom, and every morning when I'm getting ready, I see what 3 goals are. And so I know what they are. I'm heading at, and I have it actually for next conference, what position I want to be, but I also do some other things not related to Juice Plus. So mindset is so important, and your belief is so important. So, you need to have a strong belief in 4 things to be super successful in this business. Number 1 is in the product. Most people who are on this call, you already have probably a really strong belief in the product, or you wouldn't have made it this far. And then you have to have a strong belief in the company, the Juice Plus company, which for me, it's huge. I mean, they are such a great company as far as giving back with the Tower Gardens to Boys and Girls Clubs across America, the St. Jude's Hospital, you know, the Children's Health Study. It's just an amazing company. And the third thing is marketing. Where is your on scale? Where your limiting beliefs are and what you can do to change that. And there's so many things you can do to change that, whether that's reading books, getting more calls, going to more events, which I'm going to talk about right now. They call an event like on Zoom. I'd turn off my video so nobody could see me. I'd put me on mute. I'd sometimes listen while I'm doing something else. And I wasn't really getting out as much as I think I should have been, where now like I'm fully present when I'm on those calls. And, you know, even this call, I was so nervous to get on this call. I actually thought it was a mistake when Tasha asked me to do this. And I was going to back out. I talked to Amanda, my upline. I'm like, are you sure they want me on that call? And so I had to do a ton of like affirmations and I am statements to even get here today. And so just to always try and like push myself outside my comfort zone, say yes to things, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, or even if it scares the heck out of you. You know, just keep saying yes and keep showing up, I think, and being consistent is key. So the other consistent thing that I think is huge is conference. Everyone talks about how important conference is. It is where you get the most inspiration and momentum out of everything we do all year long. I was told early on that not everyone goes to conference, but everyone who is successful does go to conference in this business. So for this, if you want to be successful in this business, you must go. You have to. It's an absolute. It's the best way to invest in yourself throughout the year. And you never know what you're going to walk away from with conference. So I have a good story about when I first started. So 6 months into the business, I was loving it. I fast-tracked to VF, and my upline you heard is Amanda. 6 months into the business, I get a phone call from Amanda that she is moving to Uganda, Africa. And I was one of her first distributors. We had like really we had one other person on our team in the United States and really nobody else. And I was like, wait, you're leaving me? I'm just getting started. What are you doing? And so at that moment I had to like think, am I staying in this business? Am I not? She went to Uganda. The next conference was in Nashville. And I was going to go to this conference completely by myself, not knowing anyone. And I wasn't sure I was comfortable or if I wanted to do that. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I had a big enough why. I could see the big picture. And Amanda told me that she would connect me with Linda Evenden in Australia, who was going to be at that conference, and that Linda would take me under her wing. And I went, and Linda completely took me under her wing. I met Linda, who is now became this huge mentor for me. And I met some of my best friends who are now my sideline buddies. And it was life-changing for me, because from that conference, it was so much fun. And the community that I had there, I knew that I always wanted to be part of this Juice Plus business. It really just changed everything for me. And then just most recently at the Phoenix, and a couple of months ago in April, you know, I'm sitting there listening to these NMD speeches. And for the past 3 years, I listened to the NMD speeches, and the whole time I'm thinking, oh my God, I could never do that. Standing in front of 8,000 people just scared the crap out of me. And I was just like, could never picture myself up on that stage speaking to everybody. And part of me was like, well, it's okay. I'm just going to do this business really slow. Hopefully by the time I get there, I can see myself there. And I didn't know how I was ever going to get to that point. But sitting there in Phoenix, listening to all these speeches, something clicked. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden I got like totally teary and emotional. I could literally picture myself up there speaking, and I could picture my kids up there with my husband up there. And I had my notebook out and taking notes, listening to this. And I all of a sudden just started jotting down my NMD speech, an outline, like what I wanted to say. And so with conference, you never know what you're going to get out of it, but you will always, always get something out of it. So if you're on the fence about going to Tampa in October, make it happen. Like if you want to go somewhere with this business, make sure you get to conference. All right. So those are all the things that I think are really important as far as like being consistent, and has really helped me grow my business. But I also want to talk about dealing with setbacks. You know, there will always be setbacks in this business. Customers will cancel, distributors will drop out. Things will not go as planned. Everything, at least for me, has taken me longer than I thought. Like I thought I'd get to SSC sooner. You know, everyone does this business on their own time frame, and what you put into the business is what you get out of the business. And because I own my own PT practice, and I have lots of usually human resource issues and trying to run my practice at the same time, there have been times that I've kind of put Juice Plus a little bit on the back burner and then had to step back up and go back. But the people who stay really focused, obviously fast track to each level much quicker. So just remember, what you put into the business is what you're going to get out of the business. But I never look at any of these setbacks as failures. there are no failures in this business. I just think of it as an opportunity for learning and growing. If someone cancels, then you just go out and talk to more people and get a new customer, or you get a new distributor. Fortunately, I have always had this strong belief somewhere inside me that I'm not going to fail if I set my mind to it. It may take me a lot longer than I originally thought, but if I just be consistent and keep showing up and keep at it, I know that I'll eventually get there, which has really helped me in this business. You just can't take no's personally. I always think of no, N-O, as next opportunity. So just remember that. Don't worry about the no's. Don't take it personally. It's never about you. As passionate as I am about Juice Plus and inspiring healthy living, it's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to see or drink. I always say I drank the Kool-Aid and I love it, but not everyone's going to see all the benefits that we do, or they're going to be like, oh, I already take a vitamin. Oh, I already eat a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. I don't need Juice Plus. So not everyone's going to see it, but if you're consistent with everything else that I was just talking about in social media posts, if people keep watching you and you keep showing up, someone who could have been watching you for a year or 2 years, they're eventually, or at some point, maybe like, hey, okay, I'm ready to sign up right now as a customer. I want to take the product. Or, hey, now I want to sign up as a distributor. You never know. So just don't take it personally. Just have your why and know your why and know what keeps you going. And just remember that. Always go back to that. So what is it worth it for you? I mean, for me it is, because I've always just want that passive income and that big picture. All right. So I'm going to look at my notes for a second because I wrote a bunch of stuff down just so I don't forget anything. Personal development. All right. So personal development has always been huge for me. Even before I was in the Juice Plus business, as a physical therapist, we have to continually take continuing education courses each year to keep our license current. And I've always been reading all these self-help books. But in this business, you have to be doing that. So whether it is, whether you're listening to calls or you're reading books or audios, you always want to be constantly learning. The people who are really successful in all businesses, in traditional businesses, they're big readers. So I have a couple of my favorite books that I love. Obviously, GoPro, that we all know. Beach Money by Jonathan Adler, if you're trying to build your belief in network marketing companies. The 4-Year Career is amazing. Anything by Brené Brown is great. Simon Sinek is amazing. And then Jim Rohn. So those are my favorite, and go back and read them over and over again. I'm about to do Brave Leaders starting this week, actually, which I'm really excited about. So you always want to just constantly be learning and growing. And that's how I think that you're going to just keep getting to the next levels. My biggest lesson I learned is just happened recently. I was talking to my upline, Amanda, about this. So my whole life I've been super independent, and I try not to count on anyone for anything. And running a traditional business, it's, I hire people, I fire people, I had to do everything by myself. I do have 2 business partners who are helpful as well, but we each have our own role within our practice. And so my biggest lesson is that what I've learned in this business, I got to SC doing it alone, and even close to SS, actually not SSC. What I've learned, I'm kind of going off and losing my train of thought, but what I've learned is to be successful in this business, you cannot do it alone. You need your team. You need to find mentors. You need people that literally inspire you, lift you up on those bad days, and it actually makes where with my team and this Juice Plus community, that has been so amazing and something that I never, ever expected to get out of Juice Plus. People constantly, everyone is willing to help you and wants you to do well. And it's been amazing, this community. It's just, I love so much. So that's a big lesson. And then my other big lesson under that whole thing is to be teachable. We have amazing systems and amazing leaders in this company. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just learn and be teachable and listen and just keep at it. All right. So my last little recipe for success is to find your tribe and love them hard. I'm on Team Thrive, and kind of what I was just saying about like surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, people who are successful, people that you admire and want to be like, surround yourself with those type of people. The team that I'm growing happens to be a lot of physical therapists. We have personal trainers, massage therapists, registered dietitian. Because I'm in the health and fitness field, that's the team that I'm building. I definitely have some moms on there who are not working, and that's great too. But like, you tend to attract the people that you're like. And it makes it so much more fun, and it's easy to talk to them about like, how are you integrating it into your business? And so, find the people that you want to work with. The great thing about this business is we get to choose who we work with. So, choose people that you love, choose your best friends, choose your sister or your brother, get the people that you love, integrated into this business. And then you get to work every day with and be surrounded by people that you love. So what else do I want to say? I'm going to look at my notes again. All right. So just to kind of like wrap it up before I take any questions, I've kind of said that, this business has been so rewarding to me on so many levels. Being surrounded by like-minded community and being part of a mission that is bigger than ourselves is really priceless. This, as you get to SC and beyond, this is going to be your biggest development journey of your life, personal development journey of your life. You will get to be the best version of yourself. You're going to continue to grow and change in ways that you never expected. So try to just have fun and enjoy the journey. So, all right. So any questions?
Hiya. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. No, I'd already said hi to you. I'm just so excited. You're amazing. Oh my God. Me and Emily have been sat here this whole last half an hour. I've been like, she's so good. She's so good. About you. And then my signal kept chopping in and out, and I was so upset because of the recording, and I was like, Emily, she's gone off. And Emily was like, no, she's fine. So anyway, really thankful. I'm a bit speechless right now. I need to gather my thoughts before I ask you any questions. I suppose actually one question would be this is like, because we've just had a girl, it's saying in the chat box about, she's actually in my downline. And she was saying, I really want to know, I want to see SC. So Kelly is, she's someone.
Tasha, I keep losing you.
Oh, you keep losing me? Okay, 1 minute.
So Tasha, I keep losing you. If you write it in the chat area, I can read it, and then
I'm on. Sorry, I can just go to the next laptop because I'm with my friend. Oh, it's really lagging. I'm just going to let it finish. I'm just going to let it finish. I don't know how this has happened, but me and Emily are hooked onto the same Wi-Fi, and it's really bad. Is it working now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're good now.
Okay, great. So basically, what I was asking you is, so we have a girl that wrote in the chat box who's actually in my downline. So yes, the recording will go on YouTube. So Kelly was basically asking, she's not at VF yet, and she was asking about the requirements to get SC. When you have someone in your team, what do? Do you teach them step by step? I mean, that's what I've always done personally.
Mm-hmm.
But do you teach them step by step, or do you kind of like plan it out for them? And because I plan it out for them, and we try and figure out what that could be for them.
Yep.
But I do also.
We do basically the same. We teach them step by step. We set up a system where right when they sign up, we send them like a welcome packet, a Team Thrive welcome packet, and then we kind of lay out. We try not to give them too much information at once. We tell them how to get to VF first, and then we help them. We really hold their hand and do a lot of hand holding until they get to VF. And then once they get to VF, we even continue to help them until they get to SC. But then we kind of back off too, because as they're growing, you want to help them as much as you can, especially to VF. But leaders will rise to the top with or without you. So Linda taught me that, like, for a while in the early stages of my business, I wanted it more than some of my distributors. And I was like, we're not supposed to do this, but I was like helping them and finding them orders and trying to really get them to VF. And I learned the hard way that even if they got to VF, but I helped them so much to get there. Over time, they weren't my big distributors as far as like continuing on in the business. So you want to help them, but you want to match their enthusiasm and meet them where they're at.
Completely agree.
So you don't want to like do the business for them. You really want them to step up, and when they ask you questions, you answer, but you don't want to like be pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And in fact, if anything, I've been super guilty. I've been in this business for a couple of years now, and I've been super guilty of babysitting people. And now I'm in a place where I kind of give it hard to my team sometimes, and I like warn them, and I always ask for permission, like, can I give it to you bluntly? And they all say yes to me, because nobody wants to be babysat, but you have to kind of, you have to find that clarity in it, is what I'm finding. Because if you do fall into the babysitting role with them, they're just going to let you do it a lot of the time, because they do want to be coached, and they do want to be mentored, and they want the most help that they can get, but they don't quite understand the difference between being babysat and being coached sometimes, because they're brand new, or they're so desperate to be successful that they will look up to you that much, and they will kind of do that. So I 100% agree. I think you definitely shouldn't babysit, 100%. One thing as well, I think I'm actually going to open up to anyone else before I ask any more questions.
Yeah, I kind of want to tack on to the end of that, Tasha. So at what point do you stop babysitting? I mean, because I feel like with some of my team members, I've asked them, what are you wanting to get out of this? I've tried to get really clear with them, and they tell me one thing and they do another. And at what point do you stop?
So what I've learned, I mean, just because, as I said, I've been in this for 3.5 years. So some people don't want what you want, like I want to get to NMD, and I want this, I want at least $10,000 a month. And so other people don't want that. Some people are there for the community. Some people are there because they like you and they want to be part of it because they like the product. I mean, so everyone has a different why. So I think having you guys, I don't know if you guys do something called the game plan chat. When you sign up a distributor, do the game plan chat. Really find out what their why is and what level they want to get to. Because we all assume that everyone wants what we want, and they don't. And people's why will change. Like sometimes people are like, oh, I just want, $200 to $500 a month and I'm happy. I originally was like that. I was like, oh, I want $500 a month to pay for a car payment. And now I'm like, screw that. I want $10,000 a month. So, constantly check in with your team, and definitely babysit to get them to VF. I mean, we all need help. We're all new at this. There is a lot to teach and a lot to learn, but then meet them where they're at. Then you can kind of back off. And then if they ask you questions, of course, be there and help them, but don't constantly be babysitting.
Okay. One other question. So if you're comfortable sharing, and if not, that's fine. But what do you guys include in like your Team Thrive, like in a welcome package?
So we used to have this big welcome package, and we would have obviously like the circles of what you need to get to VF and all the points. And then, but we just recently, we started going away from the welcome package and doing text messages, because more people, like no one but wants to read this whole long email with 5 attachments. Like no one's doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I still send it, but I don't even think anyone looks at it, to be honest. So now we do text messages, and we set it up where like, here's the first text message, welcome to Team Thrive. And then we'll send out another one, and then we give them homework. Like, okay, let's do the game plan chat. Let's do, we could, do a welcome to the whole team. And then here's your homework. When is your first event? Is it going to be a salad in a jar or a smoothie? And then, anyone team local that I have, I always go to the events with them and teach them how to do it. And the first event, I bring all my research and I bring the smoothies. But by the second and third one, they're doing it. I'm there to support them, and because it's fun with more people, but then they take over. So, teach them and then let them.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep. Any other questions?
I'm just going to talk in Amelie's mic because I don't want my Wi-Fi to go really bad. Does anyone have any more questions? If not, then we will be really respectful of Hilary's time, since we've been on the call for 45 minutes and you have literally blown us all away, I think, with your massive golden nuggets. Does anybody else? I definitely had another question and I've forgotten, so forgive me if I bug you. Jenny has one.
Yeah. How do you go about messaging people, I guess? Because I've had a balance between template and just connecting.
So what we started doing is, as I said, I'm on Amanda's team, who's my NMD, who's been amazing. We do it a lot through Facebook Messenger, not just text messaging. So my local team, I have a text message group. But then on Facebook Messenger, we actually started separate chats within Messenger. So we will have a fast track to VF. So anyone who's on our team who's trying to get to VF, we have a group text message on Facebook where we, send them messages or tell them what calls to get on and just give them inspiration. And then we have a fast track to SC. And then we have one that's just new distributors or fast track to DD. So we have a bunch of different chats going on at the same time.
I mean mainly when you're trying to get prospects, when you're trying to find people.
Oh, so luck for me, I don't usually do text messages to find prospects because I have my PT practice and I think it's all about connection and relationships. So, there are people who grew this business all on Facebook where they reach out to people they haven't talked to or seen in years or months, and they try to build their whole business on social media. I haven't done it that way. I've just been doing it by connecting to other physical therapists and talking to them. If I have a great event or a great call that I want them to listen to, I do send it through Facebook Messenger, and I just say, hey, there's this great call. It's by physical therapist, or it's this Dr. Sears, and I really think that you'd like this call because, and I tell them why. So I make it somewhat personal instead of just being randomly saying, hey, listen to this call.
That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jenny. Oh, Yvette, you have a question? You're on mute, though, so take yourself off.
Can you hear me all right?
What was that?
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Now I can.
All right, I'll shout. So I'm like a beauty therapist. So you're a physical therapist. So you're connecting, well, I suppose some people mainly predominantly connecting with our PTs. So I talk to people in massage therapy groups and things. So I just thought I could use the same sort of format really and do more of that.
Yeah, so I have somebody on my team, my cousin, who is a hairdresser. And she talks to people while she's cutting their hair and blowing dry their hair. Because Juice Plus, we know the benefits as far as hair and hair growth. And if someone has a lot of split ends or, she talks about what Juice Plus and what it's done for her. And so I feel like the people who have one-on-one contact with clients, it's a great time to share the product or the business. I tend to share the product with my patients and not the business because I think that's a little weird. If I become friends with someone, then I will share the business. But my distributors are not my patients. They're other people. Thanks. All right. Tasha, you have any other questions?
Okay, cool. I don't think we do. If we do, then everybody can get back to me and I'll message Hilary. But now is your chance, your magical chance, everybody. But thank you so much, Hilary. You were so amazing. I can't believe you were nervous before this call, and I can't believe you were like, did you pick me? Really?
Yeah.
That's really funny, but really, really sweet, and just shows kind of how humble of a character you are. And I just can't wait to keep watching you grow and shine and just keep doing wonderful things. I can tell you've had such amazing support from your mentors, but also I do believe that, having a good upline is one thing, but having that desire within yourself is a completely different ball game, and you definitely have that. And I think it's pretty incredible that we've managed to get someone like you on this call with so many people be able to listen to your golden nuggets. And I'm so thankful and grateful that you've been able to schedule a time with me and really put this into your calendar, because I know you'll probably got to finish your clients for the rest of the day. So Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. I will get the dodgy recording. I'm very sorry, everybody. This is why it's so important to be on the call live, because then you don't get a dodgy recording. But yeah, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening, day, wherever you are in the world. Truly international. I think we have every single different kind of time zone. We definitely have Australia, Canada, America, and all over Europe on here. So that's pretty cool. So thank you so much, Hilary.
Thank you, Tasha, and thank you everyone for getting on the call and listening. It was more fun and less nerve-wracking than I actually thought it would be. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, and see you soon, everyone. Bye.